So basically we brought you guys all up here to show you the newest ski and snowboard collection, which is great. It had a complete overhaul this season. So all of the fabrics that we have in this collection, again, just as high performance as they've ever have been, but all now have recycled content, and that's 100% of them. So this face fabric has recycled content. I think it's 60%. Is that correct?
The face fabric is 100% recycled.
Face fabric is 100% recycled.
So it's the fibers in the face fabric, so like the actual what's actually woven into it, not any of the stitching or any of that.
Yeah, and that is actually something interesting to point out. None of the thread that we use ever is recycled, just because we can't get a high performance thread that's recycled content. So that's all virgin polyester nylon, which you can't have it all. But and this also does not refer to the membrane of a waterproof fabric. So a waterproof fabric that we have in our snow and ski jackets is basically made of a face fabric, a membrane in between, and a backer. That'd be like a 3-layer fabric. A 2-layer fabric would be a face fabric, a membrane, and then like a hanging liner. I'm just trying to find a 3-layer right now that I could show you.
I'll grab a tree.
Yeah, that'd be good. Our basic torn shell is they call it 2.5 layer, so you can see the membrane, but then it also has this little print. So that face fabric is the outside fabric when we refer to it, and then there's the membrane underneath. But a tree-lay would have a face fabric. The whiteness of this is the membrane, and then this part that you can feel, this little texture, that would be the inside backer. So then sort of the next to skin helps protect the membrane. So that's not recycled content. The membrane doesn't have a recycled content, but the face fabric itself does, and that's makes up the bulk of that fabric in terms of weight and content.
So that's another good example of how we are always striving for sustainability in our products and our designs, but not at the cost of performance. So all of these products, you can imagine there's close to probably 30 or 40 different styles in the ski and snow line that were all redesigned and retested for durability and performance, to know that they were up to the same standards as the old fabrics. So they not only did they redesign all of them with the recycled face fabrics, but they retested them with all of our athletes and out in the conditions that they need to use them in to be able to sell them with the same performance standards.
What's also kind of interesting is that they did this both in-house with in-house fabrics and with Gore-Tex, our branded high-performance waterproof breathable. So the top tier products have that Gore-Tex in them, so we have to work with Gore to sort of get our recycled content through their system. And then we also have our own in-house H2No fabrics, which we did the same process with. So that's another sort of. So Gore-Tex is a branded waterproof breathable from this company called Gore. They're an American company. I just learned this, make most of their money in membranes for medical purposes, but the reason that most of us know about it is because it's in the top-notch jackets that you can buy as a consumer. All of our Terex jackets are Gore-Tex, our top jackets are Gore-Tex, and you're basically paying a premium for the best high-performing waterproof breathable fabrics.
Yes.
So they have these giant tags on the outside, and you can sort of see.
Engineered for everyday versatility.
But a lot of times people use Gore-Tex as like a mnemonic to mean like just all waterproof breathables. Like they might pick up this and be like, oh, is this Gore-Tex? Like, this is a Gore-Tex jacket, right? Like it's not, but it functions the same way as Gore-Tex. This is just a lower price point. It's our own fabric. So, but that's really great that we're pushing outside companies like Gore-Tex to have recycled contents in their fabrics, and that I'm assuming is again open sourced, so that other companies, if they want it, they can then go to Gore-Tex and be like, we want this same recycled content as Patagonia, and that's totally okay with us, which is kind of great as a company that we let this stuff spread.
That's in fact what we want. When we say we want to encourage other businesses, inspire solutions to the environmental crisis. That's really what we're talking about, is encouraging other businesses to use recycled content, to make decisions on behalf of sustainability and on behalf of environmentalism and the earth than just their bottom line. So, if you go to REI, you'll see Arc'teryx, North Face, Patagonia, Marmot, all the ones that you guys probably know about, and they'll all have Gore-Tex tags on them. I'm sure you've seen that before. That means that they're all using that technology that Gore has developed, and we've helped, we've encouraged Gore to create that with recycled materials. So
Maybe talk about the nanopup is another perfect version. If you have a nanopup over there.
Yep.
So nanopup is another great example of this. So this is another. This is an insulated piece that we have. It uses Primaloft, which is another American company that makes insulation, synthetic insulation, which is basically a substitute for real goose down. So this has a layer on the inside that's like this white batting that we've always used Primaloft for, but a couple years ago we pushed Primaloft to have it have a recycled content. So I think it now has, I don't even know the content of Primaloft Gold, but it has a majority recycled content. And again, performance was not hurt at all. It has the same performance as old Primaloft, but it now has recycled content, and other companies can use Primaloft Gold. So you go on other companies' website, and they're now using Primaloft Gold as their insulation. So that was a Patagonia-led initiative, and it's now becoming an industry standard, just because we wanted to change a jacket that we've been selling for decades. I don't even know how long we've been selling this jacket.
Yep.
And so that's really great that it used to be a jacket that was made of virgin polyester, virgin nylon, and we've since updated it with recycled contents, and performance has not declined whatsoever. So another great example.
I have a question.
Sure.
You mentioned a lot those fabric are recycled fabric, and I was wondering how does it be recycled? It means it's easy to digest it or easy to be landfilled.
Yes. What was the last part?
Or is whether it means it's easy to be landfilled or easy to be, yeah.
I know what you're saying. So all of the recycled fabrics in the ski shells in the snow line are from post-consumer and post-industrial waste. So plastic bottles, or textile factory floor scraps. When you have scraps from a factory floor, that's like a big industry. Even though they're just scraps, they can make up a lot of landfill. So we're both diverting those materials from the landfill as well as creating a product that is able to be recycled.
And
So,
I have
does that answer your question?
another question. It's about if the process of make the material recycled is really complex, how to make the recycled components stand out, because I think it's cost a lot compared with the normal material.
So you're asking about the cost of using the recycled material?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it may cost us more in the long run, more money, but that's a risk that we're willing to take to offer this, a more superior in our minds product that is less of a cost on the planet. So it's a cost for us as a business, which we will incur, but it's less of a cost on the planet if we're diverting some of those resources from a landfill.
And we make this calculation all the time. People look at Patagonia and they go, why are they making this decision? They're going to be losing money. But that isn't always the thought process behind Patagonia. If you're able to divert CO2 by spending some more money, then that's a calculation that we make and sometimes go that direction. The other thing too is that
sometimes it inspires people to buy more things from you because they know that you're trying to make the right decisions. So
Right.
Exactly, and that's
hard to balance.
another reason why the open source method we always push a lot, because the more that other companies buy into these recycled content fabrics that we're buying, the cheaper that they end up getting for everyone. So that's part of the reason why you want to go open source, is that these companies that can then make it more of it and make it cheaper. So, and then it becomes industry standard, and it sort of it fits right in with all of the like virgin polyesters on the market.
And what kind of people are your target users?
Target users for snow?
For
in
your clothes?
Yeah.
I saw the athletes, the clothes, and is there other parts for normal people or just for kind of rich people? Because those products are kind of high cost.
Yeah, that's a good question, and actually it's kind of a deep question because it opens up a lot of our company history and how we got to where we are today. Originally, I don't have anything to add, but originally we were a company that was kind of making a lot of different products for a lot of different types of people, and we started making really clothes for mountain climbers. That was where we really started in the 70s, and then as the company grew and got more popular, we started making new styles for different types of people, and eventually we didn't really have a hold on any sort of market. We were losing a lot of money, and it wasn't going to look good. It wasn't looking like we were going to be a company actually at all very soon, and that was around the 90s. So they had to kind of make a decision, and a really risky, business decision. And at the time, it was to write this mission statement that I talked about earlier, and they got rid of a lot of people. They fired a lot of people that they didn't really need, and they started to focus on making technical products for athletes. So, and at the time it was climbers. We weren't doing surf yet, but it was mostly climbers, skiers and snowboarders, and a lot of alpine sports. And they decided to focus a large portion of their resources on developing products and doing research and testing on items that would live up to those conditions, and that would really cement their name in the industry. So that's how we really became the popular company that we are today. It was by making really highly technical products for those types of athletes that still work for the everyday person who maybe not climbing mountains all the time. They still work, but we know that we have those customers that are loyal to our products because they work and they function and they last a really long time.
So yeah, we talk about maybe the question is sort of getting at where does this sort of elitism come from? How can you guys talk about making these great clothing but then only rich people can buy them? That is an argument and it's totally valid, but if you're going to pay a premium on a piece of outerwear, but you know that this company's going to stand behind it in 10 years, that's a great investment. And yes, it's a bigger investment on the front, but that's a better thing than buying an $80 jacket from Uniqlo, who the moment it has a hole in it, they're just going to tell you to throw it away and sign a new one.
And we will work as hard as we can as a company to continue to repair your item.
Even if you didn't buy it originally, if you bought a piece of Patagonia at a thrift store, we'll repair it. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to buy premium full price Patagonia, you can buy it anywhere.
So that goes for worn wear as well. We're talking about worn wear. You can go on the worn wear website and pay $100 for what was a $400 jacket, and we'll repair that for as long as we can. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, honestly.
Great.
I think the last thing that we wanted to talk about was the nonprofit work that you guys do, and also the other business ventures that you mentioned.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's walk over here to our nonprofit board.
Yeah.